Welcome back, everybody, to Week 3's episode of East Meets West. Once again, I am your host, Joe, the owner of the Both Sides of the Bun franchise and your commissioner of the CBFFL League. To my left, co-host. Introduce yourself.
Did you forget my name? I'm Fancho Jake, owner of the Globo Gym Purple Cobras, the 2-0 Globo Gym Purple Cobras, right now sitting in a playoff spot. And we have a special guest today, the usual cameraman, I'll say it one last time, defending champ, Mike Slanik, owner of the Slanik Sanitation. Mike, welcome to the show.
Thank you
for having me.
Absolutely. Thank you for filling in.
I was going to let you introduce yourself. I was going to let you get some introductory in. But
I stole the show. I had to do something.
No, I appreciate it. I mean, you know.
All right.
It's the only kind words I'll ever say about it.
Big show today. We have, as we mentioned last week, some new segments we're going to get through. We're going to try to fly through it. Might be a little bit of a long one. Stay with us.
We might have 2 shows for you this week. Stay tuned.
Potentially, yeah. We're going to try to fly through as much as we can today. As always, I would not be doing my own due diligence if I didn't let you know to please like, comment, and subscribe below. CBFFL, we are trying to build this brand for you. Team of here around this table of the people. We want to do what you guys want to see each and every week. Starting off small, of course, there's a couple guys love football, but we want to bring as much as we can to you all in the best fashion we can. So we're going to continue right back where we picked off. Last week we introduced a new segment, C Blocks Drops. We wanted to get a little bit more into our league's info. We're going to jump right into it.
Let's do it.
C Blocks Drops. Start off. Some league news. Trade number 2 of the year. And it's only right that we have you on the show because you were a part of it. So you want to tell the people a little bit about what went down?
So me and Charles from C Block's Biggest Loser got a deal done. I heard. I sent him that bum Mark Andrews and Chase Claypool for my boy Mike Evans and Kenny Gainwell, who I have Miles Sanders. So I felt like it made sense to ask him as the second piece. And it's a well-known thing that I love Big Mike. So
yeah, it pains me. I think I mentioned this to Charlie and you. I think it was a fair trade as far as player value. I think from a team breakdown, I like it from your side. I questioned it a bit from C Block's Biggest Loser, Charlie. I don't know exactly. I'm thinking if he's getting rid of one of those big 3 receivers, if I'm him, I'm probably seeking out a running back with his current running back situation. See how it pans out. Thoughts on?
Yeah, I'm going to piggyback off what you said. We talked about it off air. It's not a bad trade. I obviously don't. I like Chase Claypool. After last year, I'm not a big fan of Mark Andrews anymore. But like I said to you,
same.
Yeah.
Same.
It's just not the position he should have been going after. He has so many holes on his team that he should be filling. I know I often trade. I'm sure other people have often trade with running backs. Tight end just wasn't the spot he should have been looking to upgrade, and especially with that player, he's not the player that's going to put you over the top at that position. He's not a Waller, he's not a Kelsey, so I just thought it was a bad move on his part. I think it was a fantastic move by Mike, picking up another wide receiver and a very competent, maybe I guess flex player, running back 3 possibly, low end running back 2.
If Miles were to get hurt. I think
he's been getting a lot of
time.
Yeah, he's been getting a lot.
Well, yeah. I mean, we're all Eagles fans. For those that don't know, so we watch every game, and I'm a big Miles Sanders guy. Miles is getting about 70% of the snap percentage, but yeah, like Gainwell's just getting in on the like 2 or 3 times now I've seen him like it's a goal line.
Well, just take a look
snap, and then that guy's in there and he's getting in, and it's just.
Not to go too much into this, but just take a look at our running back wire this week. Who was there? Ahmad? He was the top one, and I don't think anybody placed a bid on anyone. I picked him up after the waivers went through. So it's just when you can get a running back, whether it's and he has a little bit of value to him. So you're able to get a wide receiver. And
doubly so for my team.
Yeah. And to me, this was all for basically bench pieces. I mean, Andrews was your bench piece now. You have the tight end 1, right?
Yeah, Gronk. I mean, I don't know if Gronk will keep that up, but. As you commented earlier, after Lamar has looked great for fantasy, but I want no parts of the Ravens' passing offense.
Well,
and Andrews clearly he's getting limited looks. I think he's coming off maybe 4 or 5 targets in the back-to-back games, and he's just not. He hasn't been a difference maker. And I mean, for where he was going,
yeah,
I was done. Like, just remove the uncertainty.
A lot of rush attack on that offense. You're going to see a lot of Lamar running, a lot of the running backs, split backfield, of course. But we'll see. See how it works out. I think we're all in agreement, though, that Mike won that trade. We'll see if we're right.
A+ for Mike on that.
Hope so.
Moving in, especially with the AB, we'll talk about it later, but AB news. Moving into...
I'm sorry, did we talk about the other trade last week?
We did.
We did get into that?
Yeah.
Although, you know what? I didn't get a poll. I want a poll.
You want a trade? I don't think you really.
Twitter. I don't know if you've been keeping up with our Twitter. Check us out. The link is in the video. Twitter does not think I won.
Really? Twitter does not think so. I think roster breakdown and everything like that too plays into it.
Yeah, I didn't provide any context.
Yeah. The contactless Twitter.
You get that here. So make sure you watch the show.
Last piece of news. So we mentioned to you guys first episode, we went Average Joe's, no longer average. They are now Joe's Gymnasium, one of the notorious poor performing franchises in our league, has dropped the average from their name, and they are lighting the world on fire. They are leading the league in points scored. They are 2-0. They have
franchise
high in points last week. Are they legit? Are Joe's legit?
Do we believe in Joe's?
Yeah.
I
I'd like to hear your take on this, to be honest with you.
It always helps when you have an earlier draft pick and you get a guy like Derrick Henry. I mean, he put up 40-something points. He's a man among boys.
Yeah.
I think Tom's roster is legit. I mean, he's got a good squad. I don't know if he's going to be able to hold on to this points lead. I mean, as the East has been, not hesitant to remind us that they there's 4 guys that are fighting over there.
They also score a little bit of points.
Yeah.
We do score
depending on how you look at it.
I think Tom's bench is going to be a place of concern for him. And we all know Tom. They might have a new name, still the same guy running the show over there. And I can tell. Listen, I can tell. Like, I'm not going to name any names, but every day he's in there looking for something. He's itching. He's fiending to make a deal. This guy's like a drug addict with this stuff. It's only a matter of time before he relapses.
Over under week 4.5, Tom makes a trade.
Under.
I think over because he's going to overvalue everybody. He's going to be too hard to make a deal with.
All right, let's see. That's all the news breaks we have. I did want to get into the waivers. You mentioned it a little bit. We consider our league to be, despite our we joke around a lot. Our league be pretty competitive. We a lot of running backs are. You think of a running back, they're already rostered. Top waiver wire pickups this week. Rondell Moore leads the charge. $27. Jose's Hooligans 0-2 right now. Really need to do something about the receiver spot. Really need to do something about all of their whole roster. I think they're looking to upgrade in multiple areas. Excuse me. $27. A few people put in on him. Second highest bid was $13. Thoughts?
I thought he overpaid. Jose's down to $52 already. I think he put in for another receiver as well. I believe he picked
KJ Osborne.
KJ Osborne, that's a good transition as well. Number 2. Also the number 2 value on the week of $11.
Yeah, which was $11. So he's spent a lot of money over. I believe he spent some money last week. He actually picked up Zach Pascal last week as well.
Trying to take a run on a lot of those receivers. Also, not to interrupt, but this is based off of a $100 year-long fab.
So he's down.
So essentially, any amounts, just that's the percentage of their.
Yeah, he's down to 52 already. Not the worst thing in the world, but it was questionable to me. He has Ridley and Lockett. Like I said, he already had Pascal. He picked up Osborne. The money was a little questionable. 27. I wanted him. I put an offer of 12. I think everyone was around there, so I think I put in a fair offer. But I just thought he overpaid a little bit. So, good player. I mean, if you wanted him, you wanted him. You have to do what you got to do.
Yeah. Just to hop in there, I think what Jose's doing is Jose's looking for that early season difference maker because obviously he drafted all the Seattle Seahawks, so I don't think he's feeling very confident about his flex.
You would think a move's coming, right?
With him, I don't know. I mean,
you would think half.
Joe's actually mentioned this. I don't know. I'd have to go back and look, but I don't know if Jose's ever made a trade in the league history.
Yeah, Jose backdoored me one time. Oklahoma. He hit me with the
Oh,
trade.
yeah, the Gronk. Gronk and Connor. I think that might be his only trade. And that was 3 years ago. That was 3 years ago.
But you would think he has to.
So,
Wilson, Lockett, Carson, you would think you can't depend on. You have to have that hit every week, basically.
well, that's what I'm saying. I think that's why he's going so big for Rondell Moore, who is electric. I mean,
Yeah, but you can't
he's
bench
getting
one,
limited
though.
snaps, but like he's
You
his.
can't bench Lockett.
No, you can't. You can't.
So I would think it moves in. I would think.
I think he's just looking for a flex guy that can be a difference maker week to week.
if you're looking for
I
a
don't think he
receiver,
feels confident in Kareem.
I think Tyler Lockett could be had right now. If you're looking for a wide receiver, if I had to put him in.
I have spoken, Jose, about Tyler Lockett.
There you go.
I can tell you, it's a lot harder than you think.
Yeah, we'll see. Rondell Moore not playing many snaps, but when he's on the field, he is definitely making up.
And
more.
I think he's betting on that going up. AJ Green's an old man. I mean, Christian Kirk now is playing slot, which I think, maybe that was his natural position the whole time. And Larry was just, limiting his upside. Yeah, but like Rondell Moore is fucking fast.
Yeah, you figure he takes over to number 2, right?
Yeah.
AJ Green came in all year. I mean, we've seen this.
So I mean, like 27 is a lot, especially when you look. The second place was 13.
Yeah.
So maybe he overpaid a little bit, but I think he's looking for go big or go home. It's typically the difference makers go earlier in the season, right?
A lot of
Those
money.
are the league winners.
It's just a lot of money spent on wide receivers over the first 2 weeks. You know what I mean?
Rondell Moore, 13 targets this year through 2 games, touchdown,
Can't ask for much more.
182 yards receiving.
He plays 50% of the snaps.
Yeah, plays many snaps. We'll see how it works out. Do want to keep us moving along. Few more things I just want to touch on. A few other waivers stood out. Questionable waiver wire picks stood out. Tom, we talked about it, joked a bit. He is 2-0. Maybe we shouldn't be questioning his moves.
Tom has now spent over 10% of his budget on defenses.
Almost 20.
Eight additional dollars. That's 16% of his fab this year on defenses. On
He
the
doubled
Raiders
down on it,
defense. Charlie.
That's why I don't think he can hold on. Like, this isn't sound management.
Charlie, $9 on Daniel Carlson. Sorry,
Yeah.
kicker from the Las Vegas Raiders. That may not have been his most questionable move this week. He also put $4 down on the Tennessee Titans defense. Tennessee, some great matchups coming up. Don't get me wrong, but they, as a Tennessee Titans fan on the East or the AFC side, I have paid attention to their team. Their defense is a team I'm streaming against.
I don't care who they're
I don't
playing.
mind the Titans bid. I think he's betting on Wentz not playing. I think that's what that is, and he's
No,
betting
you're good,
against
but that
these.
defense stinks.
Also, let me continue, Adam. That wasn't all on that pick. He also has the Denver Broncos defense. Tennessee is a bench defense. He is rostering 2 defenses, $4 on the Tennessee Titans to sit on his bench. He has the Colts, the Jets, the Jags. Next 3 matchups on the Titans. I don't know if he's targeting the Jets. He's trying to get ahead of next week, but we'll
It's
see.
not a bad idea. It's just
Yeah, for
Little early in the
$4, I
season.
don't mind it. I don't know if I would do it, but I don't mind that. Like, I think the $8 on Carlson is way more like eyebrow raising personally.
I don't think
I would ever pay that much for a kicker ever.
No. I was kind of sick putting $4 on the Panthers, but I needed a defense this week.
All right, well, that's going to wrap it up for C Blocks Drops. We're going to go into our next segment. Fan favorite from last week, introduced last week. And Matt is not here with us today, but
R.I.P.
we are going to take away the Ben Simmons Loser of the Week trophy. He held it dear to his heart all week long. He did end up winning this week again, 2-0 as well. But our guest host here this week, our cameraman, Mike, we're going to give you the Ben Simmons Loser of the Week trophy. Under 85 points last week, had a chance to continue to be the only undefeated team with myself in our division. Thankful that you were willing to take on this trophy. I'm gladly the only 2-0 team in the
I was
division.
brought on the show specifically so they could clown me this week.
And you got stomped.
I got my ass beat.
To put it nicely, 100-ish to 81 going into Monday night, and Aaron Jones was still on the other side of the.
So you got your ass beat Sunday.
I had lost before Monday.
He told you Sunday night he was going to come back and whoop your ass again Monday, and he came back and whooped your ass again.
Came back.
Rock said he's going to be around for the rest of the money the next day.
Yeah, he He took your lunch money on Monday, essentially, like a Sunday school. He took your lunch money and was like, "Hey, Monday, like I want this specific sandwich. I'll be waiting here.
I need more.
Bring it in."
I got beat by 50 points.
Yeah, possibly the worst loss of the year so far.
I think it is.
A lot of time still to go.
I don't know. Charlie lost by 60 this week.
So. There
you go. Second.
All right, well, that's gonna wrap up that.
I hope he doesn't watch
segment.
Charlie comments on every single one. He'll see all of these.
We are considering
Chuck.
We are considering breaking down each team, taking a day.
Starting with Charlie.
And we're going to try to fit 3 teams per episode. We may need an entire episode to break down Seahawks Biggest Loser.
Yes.
Especially depending on how this week goes.
Absolutely. Yeah, this is not good for him.
Not great. All right, well, we're going to change it up a bit this week. We promised you more NFL news. We are going to now go into the NFL matchups of the week. We are going to look to break down each matchup. We have a lot of games to get through. We're going to try to get through every Sunday game, including the Thursday and Monday games right now for you all. It's going to be the only segment here on the show. We're going to break down game by game. We can place, camera guy, stop me if I'm overstepping my boundaries, but
stop.
We can put in, we're going to have the timestamps for each game. That way you can skip directly to that game if you want to see it. Below in the description. But we have a lot of games to get through,
I missed
so
this part of the meeting.
I don't want to delay us any further. Let's get things going. Thursday night, tomorrow night, the 2-0 Panthers taking on the 1-1 Texans. Texans at home. The Panthers are 7.5-point favorites, so we're looking at 15, 17 points for the Texans.
I love the Panthers. You have to. I mean, what's that? Mills? Is that the guy's name?
General Mills.
Yeah. I don't know his first name.
Yeah, nobody does.
I don't know if he knows his first name.
I don't know if the Texans know. They're looking at the roster saying, Mills, you're in. No, I like the Panthers defense this week for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
I think we can all agree.
I think they're the clear cut.
Yeah, that, and I think there's a running back in this game that we can all agree will most likely have a pretty good game this week. I would pencil him in.
Yeah.
Whatever number he wears.
Mark Ingram.
Spoiler alert, it's not from the Carolina side.
As far as the Texans, I would absolutely play nobody from the Texans this week. Yeah, we can move on.
Yeah, you can't. You can't even, like, Cooks has actually been really good the last 2 weeks from a fantasy perspective. But
can I call out something?
We have no idea.
So I pulled up, I don't know what website, I just tried to I tried to really quickly pull up the Houston Texans roster to see what this guy's first name was. Under passing, they have Houston Texans, Deshaun Watson. They have David Johnson ranked before this guy as a quarterback.
So it tells you where we're at in this game. I really like the Panthers defense again this week, if I can reiterate.
So wait, they have David Johnson's their emergency quarterback?
I don't know.
Maybe he has a little more value
his
than
name.
we thought.
His name is Davis. I'm joking to a certain extent, but yeah, you're sitting all your Texans. I'm not playing a single Texan. Brandon Cooks, flex-worthy.
If
you're in a pinch, I'm looking to go to start someone else.
Is this dude going to be able to get the ball outside the numbers? Brandon Cooks ain't coming over. Brandon Cooks.
I mean, listen, I would be lying. I've never seen him take.
This is a week where if you have Brandon Cooks, I would sit him this week if you can, and just see how this quarterback plays.
You have to.
Yeah.
And if you notice he can throw the ball downfield, then God, you got yourself a player there. But other than that, I would sit him this week.
Yeah. All right, we can move on from that game. You're starting Team C, as you mentioned. You're starting DJ. You're starting all of your Panthers.
You start all.
Starting Sam Darnold?
Oh,
if you have to. I mean,
if you're in a pinch, yeah. I mean,
streaming him
as in a 2 QB league.
If there's a quarterback, I would stream over him. We'll get into that a little later. Yeah, I mean, depending on who your wire is and who your quarterback is, yeah, if you feel comfortable doing that, that's a spot where, again, if you have a CMC, potentially you don't like a quarterback matchup this week, you potentially throw Darnold in there. Now, the CMC is going to get at least 7-8 targets.
All right, yeah, let's move on to the next game. 1 o'clock games coming in here for Sunday. We'll start off with the almost 2-0, or 0-2, Baltimore Ravens taking on the 0-2 Detroit Lions. It is a -8 Baltimore favorite. They're on the road at Detroit. Over under 50. Over under 50 points.
Big number.
Yeah.
I really like this game. I'm firing up a lot of people in this game. Lamar, you're starting on your
RB1 on the Ravens.
Well, here you go. Here's who you starting in. You starting the Ravens running back this week? If so, which one?
Tyson. I think Williams is the start. I think
You
there's.
still believe that?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, dude. He's honestly top 10 in efficiency rating right now for running backs. I mean, if he doesn't have that fumble, you're talking about him being locked and loaded.
Yeah.
I think Murray's. You can flex Murray. Murray's still going to get like goal line looks and stuff like that. I mean, yeah,
I do.
Hollywood? How do you
Yes,
feel about Hollywood?
yes.
Yeah,
He actually looks good. He's the only pass catcher on the Ravens I would trust. I mean,
So that brings me
Hollywood,
to-
I think Andrews gets a
I was
start
gonna say
simply
that
because.
it brings me to the biggest question, I guess, after the trade we have.
yeah, you're firing up Andrews.
Yeah, you have to.
If you drafted Andrews, you're firing him up. Good matchup.
Even with the shit season he's having, he'll still be a top 10
Yeah.
tight end, just because of the position.
I'm also okay on taking if you absolutely have to. I'm talking deeper leagues, the 3 wide receiver leagues. If you have to flex like Sammy Watkins, I don't want to, but that Detroit.
Yeah, you're asking for a touchdown, and this
Yeah.
could probably be the week that you might be able to get away with getting a touchdown. I think without buys, though, that's probably not really an option.
Yeah.
If we were on bye weeks and there was a couple teams off and you needed a Sammy Watkins,
This
to block
early
in
on
there,
in the season,
yeah,
you
being that
shouldn't
everybody's
be that
playing.
desperate.
Yeah.
Let's jump to Detroit side. You're firing up T.J. Hawkinson. He's possibly
Regardless of who they're playing.
Yeah, he's tight end 3 on the year right now.
He's always a start.
DeAndre Swift, you're firing
Both
up.
of them?
Jamal Williams.
Yeah, shitty game yard.
I think Jamal Williams is a flex consideration. I'm not excited about starting him against Baltimore.
I don't think I knew.
Well, he had like fantasy points wise, he had about what 8.5 points.
I believe they both had a rough game last week.
Are you happy with 8.5 from flex?
Oh yeah,
I'm not like
RB2?
ecstatic about it, but it's
he
it's
had
like all right.
5.2.
5.2.
Yeah, he was
Are you
7
happy
to
with
25 for.
No.
Obviously, you're not happy with that, but even like 8.5 is just not. That's not
Yeah.
counting for me.
I think-
my flex about
I think, in my opinion, I think this line is a great line. I think Baltimore is going to run away with this one. I do think they're not going to. Detroit's not going to stop. They proved that. They're going to still score some points.
Well, I think that's a lot of where the over-unders come from. They're betting
Yeah.
on garbage time from
I'm
Detroit.
firing up DeAndre Swift. I'm firing up Hawkinson. Tyrell Williams is out.
So Cephas?
I was going to say, Quintus Cephas touchdowns in both of the first 2 games.
This is one of them games.
Yeah.
This is one of them games where if Baltimore gets up early, Goff's just going to be fucking throwing and throwing and throwing.
Yeah.
And he got a lot of targets the other night.
I think that's exactly what is going to happen.
Wide receiver 30 on the year, despite a touchdown in each of his first 2 games. I'm not excited to play him. I'd play him over Sammy Watkins.
Again, this early in the year with no buys,
Yeah.
he's probably not going
You're probably not
to.
looking
He's
at.
probably sitting under the wire.
Anyone? Baltimore's defense. I'm okay with firing
Yeah,
up.
if you can.
I actually picked him up on
Yeah.
the roll.
Again, the only problem is with a game like this is they get up big, and then the other team starts throwing, and God forbid they get a couple touchdowns, and Baltimore's just hanging back, playing low for them. We'll give them one, we'll give them 2, and then all of a sudden you know how it works. You lose 3 points, and then it's like, well, I just went from 10 down to 7.
Yeah, but that's a risk with every.
Absolutely, yes, absolutely. I'm just saying, just pointing out this is one of the games where that can happen.
Yep. All right, let's keep it going. Moving through quick, we have an AFC South matchup here. The 0-2 Colts, disappointing so far, versus the 1-1 Titans. Hell of a comeback last week. What a game that was in Seattle. It's a 5.5-point line in favor of the Titans with a 48-point over/under. Let's start on the Colts side of the ball. Carson Wentz sprained 3 ankles somehow. Doctors are clueless how that happened.
He's got a high ankle sprain in one, and then
I borrowed that tweet. Someone tweeted out Carson Wentz diagnosed with 3 sprained ankles. Doctors are baffled.
Not me.
On the same play, I don't know how that happens. Carson Wentz continues to impress us Eagles fans, even though he's no longer in Philly. If he does play, and then if he doesn't play. If he does play, are you willing to play him against this Tennessee Titans secondary that is proven to give up some points?
Unfortunately, as much as I was just talking bad about the Titans defense, not knowing his injuries, no. To answer the question, I wouldn't start him. It sucks.
I don't
had a good week last week.
Yeah, I don't think you could start any unless if he plays, I still wouldn't. But I mean, if you have to,
If he plays, I fire up Pittman.
I'm a little
If I
high.
have-
yeah.
I play Pittman as a
But if he doesn't, I don't start any Colts pass catchers. I mean,
Yeah.
I think it's Taylor and Hines.
Well, first it was Hines, and then last week Marlon Mack became a little thorn in my side while I'm watching the game. I keep saying 25, 25, 20. Even on downs where it was supposed to be a run play, I see 25 out there. But I'm kind of excited for Taylor this week. I think with any Derrick Henry game, that team likes to run the ball, so you would expect it to be. I feel like Titans games don't get out of hand a lot, so I feel like I have to come in a good spot with my running back. So I'm definitely excited for Taylor this week. Obviously, on the Tennessee side, you want to fire up Henry.
Let's get to
Yeah, all of it smashed.
I'm okay.
I would start
Pittman
this week.
or Hollywood Brown. Before we jump over to
I
the
think I go Hollywood.
Yeah, this week
Hollywood.
Yeah.
Me too.
Just because Carson's health.
I mean,
Me
that's
too.
simple.
I think it's close though. I think Pittman showed me. I
I
was
love
big on Pittman coming into the
Yeah,
season.
He's available.
I love
But yeah, let's jump over to the Titans. You're firing up AJ Brown.
listen. All right,
You're firing up Julio.
Not that you're not firing up, but if I'm starting a wide receiver this week on that team, it's Julio Jones. Because somebody's got a case.
fired up.
Someone's got a case of the dropsies, and it's carried over.
4
from
drops
last
last week. 3 of them very egregious.
It is carrying over from last year. This is not like an anomaly. This is a problem that the guy had. He can't catch the ball.
Yeah.
I obviously have to start him for a drafter, but I am not happy if I'm an AJ Brown right now.
Yeah.
Speaking of Brian, he's got AJ Brown and Deontay Johnson. May or may not be hurt. Not to get a little bit ahead of ourselves. And AB
Who's on the COVID?
is on COVID list.
Brian
What
playing-
receivers does he have?
Brian playing Charlie this week.
Brian's playing Steve.
Yeah,
Steve this
Brian
week.
is
I know it
playing
wasn't that one
Steve.
too, team.
Brian's actually projected 118.
Brian is.
Yeah.
I looked at it. I thought Tom was the high, and then I saw Brian 118, and I said, "Holy shit!"
Derrick Henry, you mentioned he's locked
Yeah,
in. Didn't practice today. Rest day, Wednesday, but
He's fine.
he ran the ball 35 times on Sunday. I wouldn't let that dude didn't want to practice until Sunday morning. I would let him. Ryan Tannehill.
No.
Interested?
I'm on Ryan Tannehill.
So is Steve. I don't like. We kind of glossed over that. Steve picked up Derek Carr. And
I was gonna
dropped
say, can I
Ryan
give you some? I'll give you 3 names over Tannehill. Derek Carr being the first one I was gonna say. You play Derek Carr or Tannehill?
Do I play?
The Raiders' offense is looking pretty good for
Very good.
fantasy
Yeah, I
perspective.
hear you.
Yeah.
Derek Carr leading the league in passing yards. I believe.
Yeah, we've seen Derek Carr do some shit like this before, and then all of a sudden everything just goes downhill. For the week, no, honestly, no. I'd probably start. I'd give Tannehill one more week. And
I think I would take Carr against the Dolphins.
Derek Carr against the Dolphins. At home against the Dolphins.
this is a game I can see the Raiders blowing.
I take Carr as well. I think.
Tell you what, man.
Tannehill. Tannehill or Baker Mayfield.
Ooh.
The Bakers.
They got the Browns have the Bears, right?
The Bears. The Browns are home, and actually our next matchup we're going to talk about.
I don't know.
I mean, Baker's missing Jarvis.
Odell's on the mend. He might be playing, might not be playing.
I go Tannehill.
I think it's close. You know what? Give me
just
Baker.
give him one more week. You know what I mean? Like if I was a Tannehill owner, and I know Steve pulled the trigger, but I would just give him one more
Steve,
week.
I think Steve's in full-on panic mode.
Absolutely.
Well,
the 2 bottom teams in our division should be in full-blown panic mode.
Let's get on to the Chicago Bears 1-1 taking on the 1-1 Cleveland Browns. The Browns are a 7.5 point favorite at home. Over under at 45.5.
So we're not starting Ferkser or any of the.
No,
I was kidding. Yeah,
I'm the 12th round pick, Turks or wherever he was taken. Let's start on the Bears side, the away team. Justin Fields getting the start, made official today. Matt Nagy came out and said he's their starting quarterback as of Wednesday.
And
today,
also gave himself an out
22nd.
to go back to Andy Dalton.
So if you're a
Why?
quarterback streamer, I think Justin Fields would be a good pickup, being that he is a mover, he runs the ball, and that obviously always helps with the quarterback position. I would not start him this week, obviously. You want to give him a week, see how everything goes.
Fields or Tannehill?
Yeah. Again, we're talking weekly. You know, if he comes down and rushes the ball 8 or 9 times for 60 yards and throws the ball for 150, 175, you know, and then maybe we're talking a different story.
Yeah, I mean, Jalen Hurts showed it last week.
No touchdowns.
No touchdowns, not a great passing game, but he went and
always in fantasy. I think it depends. I mean,
it's just early for me.
If you need I get that. I mean, if you need a big week, I'd rather take my chances with Fields. To be honest.
Okay.
So if you were Fields or Carr?
I'm playing Carr.
Yeah, I think Carr.
Let me ride. I'll ride with Carr for lack.
Yeah, they're
no
throwing,
pun intended, but I'd ride in the car a little bit, a little bit longer. You're firing up Robinson.
Yeah, David Montgomery.
Always. You're firing up Montgomery. Darnell Mooney.
Cole Kmet.
Back on. We'll get to Kmet. Darnell Mooney. 8 targets last week.
Yeah, big week.
Hasn't gotten in the end zone yet, but showing that he is going to be on the field all the time. He's playing nearly every snap, and he's getting targets.
He's one that's been moved around. I picked him up this morning.
Yeah,
he's been moved around a little bit this year.
I didn't want to drop that guy.
He's another one that it's probably too early to start because you probably have other talent to start above him. Yeah. But he's someone you want to roster because once bye weeks start coming in, he would be a fantastic spot start. As far as this week, no, I wouldn't.
8 targets, 6 receptions for 66 yards last week. They have Cleveland, Detroit, Las Vegas, Green Bay. Some good matchups there. Keep an eye on Darnell Mooney.
I think he's borderline flex worthy.
And I think the way the game's going to go, the way Cleveland likes to run the ball, I think that it's just not his game to get behind maybe and start getting them jump yards and stuff like that, jump catches. So I think the game will be a little too close for him to actually have any type of value.
All right, let's jump over to the Cleveland side. We talked a little bit about Baker Mayfield. You kind of gauge where we were on him. I think he's going to fall out of my quarterback 16-17 this week probably. Odell Beckham set to return this week. Do you fire him up the first week back?
Actually, let me. Mike, you can take this one if you want.
He was a full in practice, I believe.
Give me an idea if that works.
I mean, I feel like where he went in drafts. Like, I mean, a lot of guys drafted him. Like, I want to say the 6th round, 7th round. I think that's where he went.
Yeah.
Personally, I wouldn't start him.
So this is perfect, right? Odell or Brandon Cooks. This is Brock's roster. So he has CD and Godwin. Obviously,
So you're taking the gamble with the unknown quarterback or the
guy coming off. I mean, he has other options, but just to say he was going to start a wide receiver in the flex.
I don't want to give Brock any help because after what he did to me, I hope he gets fucking crushed.
All right, say it wasn't Brock.
I would. In all honesty, I think I pay attention to the Odell news really heavily leading up to Sunday, and he was a full practice today.
I think I'd Odell.
If it was today, I'd go Odell. Yeah. Are you starting any of these other receivers? Ryan Switzer, Anthony Schwartz, Donovan Peoples-Jones, Rashard Higgins with Jarvis Landry out?
Not willingly. I'm not happy if I have to.
So I think the question more would be, are you picking any of them up? Not starting so much, but are any of them worth a roster spot right now? Who's going to be the wide receiver too with Landry out?
My answer is probably not the most popular answer. I made the move already in our league. I'm just going to get to him when we get to running back because he's technically labeled a running back right now. But Demetric Felton, he showed. It's one of those just looks great from the eyes guy. He passes the eye test. He has the burst. He has the speed. Looks like he's someone that they're going to move around. He's taken reports came out from practice this week. He's now taking a lot of reps as the slot receiver. So he's a running back that you can play who's going to get receiver work as well. Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt, you're firing up as running backs.
Kareem Hunt?
I think so.
A little bit this morning here, right?
Yeah, I don't know about a running back too, but if I wouldn't feel bad starting Kareem.
No, not at all. I think Hunt will probably be a beneficiary of Landry being out as well.
The wide receiver 2 there is interesting because, like we're saying, Odell's coming back. So, all right, even if Odell plays, he's coming off an injury.
Yeah.
They don't have, like, a dominant tight end. They don't have somebody who's getting all these targets at tight end. You don't have Nick Chubb doesn't catch the ball. I mean, you have Kareem Hunt coming out of the backfield.
Yeah.
But that wide receiver 2 spot is it's very interesting, whoever it's going to plug in
that
role to see how
I don't want to go to the tight end, like you said. I don't, even with Odell coming back or Landry being out, I don't want to go Hooper, Njoku, Bryant. They all see a lot of time on the field. I
don't know which one to pick.
Yeah, exactly.
Outside of Demetric Felton, I'm Donovan Peoples-Jones.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's going to be interesting. It's one of them, again, we're at that point in the season. It's one of them weeks. We're going to see what happens, see who plugs that hole, and then you'll see if he's valuable.
Again, like Jake brought up earlier, though, that you're still early enough. I don't think many teams are in a position where this is more of a DFS play, if anything.
This part of the talent pool is not where we're at right
now. I'm not looking to start any of them. I completely agree. Next game. Bengals, the 1-1 Bengals, Cincinnati Bengals, taking on the 1-1 Pittsburgh Steelers. Pittsburgh is home. They are 3-point favorites at home.
Low line.
Very low line, 43.5 from Vegas. Let's start on the Bengals side of the ball. Joe Burrow.
No.
I'm trying to probably avoid.
What's the status of T.J. Watt's groin injury?
I was just going to say that. Pittsburgh, I'm trying to avoid the pieces on Cincinnati, but Pittsburgh's defense is very beat up right now. T.J. Watt is questionable, I believe. Why is their linebacker joining? Devin Bush?
Yes.
He is most likely not going to play. They have I think another person in their secondary out. Joe Hayden, I believe, is out. I'm okay starting. You're firing up Mixon. Mixon's in your lineup.
How many of the receivers are you starting?
Yeah, probably. This is probably the toughest receiver core for me.
I think
Chase is benched right now in Tom's team.
I think
Boyd's benched right now on Mike's team.
I think you can start Chase. I think you can start Higgins. Be pretty confident.
Keep Boyd.
I think Boyd did see a lot of targets last week because he was getting a lot of pressure, or was getting pressured a lot. But personally, as the Boyd owner in our league, I'm not going.
Or your
to start
roster, you're not starting. I can
But,
understand that.
I mean, like maybe as Joe brought up earlier, if you're in a deep 3 wide receiver league and you're a little bit desperate, yeah, maybe then. I wouldn't start Boyd in a 2 wide receiver league though.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you. I'd start Chase. I think
Chase he's an every week flex at least, right?
Yeah, I play him the flex. I play Higgins as a receiver too.
I think weekly Higgins is the play over him. I think you have more of the upside with Chase. You might be able to get that big play, but I think Higgins will be more year long. I think he's going to be more of a steady guy.
Yeah, I think if I'm Pittsburgh, I think that Cincinnati, Foster. Cincinnati's probably going to try to establish the run as they've been doing. Minka Fitzpatrick's probably going to have to come down in the box a bit. That's what leads me to believe Chase has a good chance of stretching that field and getting a big play.
Well, I'm glad you said. Do you start any of the Steelers pass catchers? With
the
news that Big Ben has a pec injury.
Just about to get there. We'll transition over to the Pittsburgh Steelers. That is the
There's
alarm.
a fire, sorry.
That is the alarm you hear every time you mention Big Ben. Big Ben, a pec injury, I believe. The word is he's going to be okay. He's probably going to play. I believe Tomlin came out and said that they're ready to adjust if necessary. Mason Rudolph or Dwayne Haskins are the next 2 up. I believe Rudolph is currently still second on the depth chart. If Ben does play, I'm okay playing Deontay Johnson, depending on his injury status. Apparently, he avoided any major injury.
Did you see that weird quote Tomlin put out there?
He's good, but I wouldn't say
he's
great.
Like, it's looking better not to be confused with
good.
great.
Yeah, great. If Deontay Johnson's out there, I'm playing him.
I've also heard. This is like NFL Twitter conspiracy that Deontay Johnson faked the knee injury because he thought it would stop the clock, and now they're playing it off that way so he doesn't get fined.
Could be.
Allegedly. Please don't sue me.
Chase Claypool is top 10 in the league in air yards. Not doing great from a productive.
I think Ben is having trouble driving the ball.
If there's no Deontay Johnson, I'm fired up this week.
Juju?
I think he's the over the middle guy, the short guy, and with that injury, if Ben gets in,
I think Juju and Najee are the chief beneficiaries, not
I
Chase.
100% think this is the week Najee finally gets one.
Any concern on the Pittsburgh offensive line when it comes to run attack?
Yes. Najee Harris owner, yes.
I don't know if you had a chance to go back. I went back and looked at some of the additional snaps from Najee, and he has nowhere to run. It is they snap the ball, and this guy breaks a tackle in the backfield every single play, and he just doesn't get anything for fantasy. He had a great run, and he got in the end zone last week, so it all worked out. Anyone else on Pittsburgh that we're missing? You're not playing. You're trying to avoid tight end Pat Freiermuth. Meow.
You got that correct.
No.
Close enough.
No, like I said, if no Deontay, obviously if Deontay's playing, they're starting him. If no Deontay, I think Juju would be the play.
Yeah. All right, let's go to what I think is going to be just an absolute beatdown. The 2-0 Arizona Cardinals, 7.5-point favorites, going against the 0-2 Jacksonville Jaguars. The line right now is 52 points from Vegas. They also agree. There's going to be a lot of scoring in this game. I want every piece of that Cardinals offense. I am firing up Chase Edmonds. I'm firing up, obviously, Kyler Murray. I am playing DeAndre. I'm okay flexing Christian Kirk. I'm playing Rondell Moore.
Oh, God, I was going to ask, if you're Jose, do you flex Rondell Moore?
Dude, I don't look at his roster.
It depends on roster construction,
I
of
can't
course.
look at his roster.
Rondell Moore, Kareem
That's like more
Hunt.
metaphorical.
Rondell Moore, Kareem Hunt. That's what he's looking down right now.
Yeah, you can move what's his face up. Carson into the RB2, and then it would be Kareem Hunt, Chenault, or Rondell, Pascal, or Osborne, or Moore would be his plays.
Gut tells me go Rondell Moore, even though I just talked up Kareem Hunt.
James Conner, is he a flex play this week?
I don't think so.
We've kind of fallen away after week one performance.
I think so. James Conner to me is Kenyon Drake of last year. He's going to get all the goal line carries. He's going to be on every goal line package. He's going to take some rushes away from Chase Edmonds, but you're probably relying on a touchdown.
And yeah, at any point, Kyler can just run it himself.
Yeah, I think with that matchup,
Yeah.
I would start more over Hunt if I was Jose.
Yeah.
That's the guy on his.
I don't want to say who. I think. If I'm going hot pick, I think on his roster, we haven't gotten that game yet. Osborne. I think Osborne might be the play. It's going to be a high scoring game, over under 55.5.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, AJ Green. We didn't mention him.
I don't think AJ Green's a fantasy
Touchdown.
player.
Is AJ Green, despite his touchdown last week, droppable?
I don't even have AJ Green on my fantasy radar, to be honest with you. I mean, there's so many wide receivers.
I think, yeah, but that's the thing. I think that they all have some value because at any week it could be their week. Obviously it's Hopkins and then everybody else.
I mean, in the NFL. There's so many wide receivers, even on a waiver wire that I could pick up where I'm like, I don't even want to deal with AJ Green's problems. You know what I mean?
Very good run blocker. He's turned into.
Unfortunately, that just doesn't show up in the stat sheet. In fantasy
let's
world.
Points per block.
Let's jump to the Jaguars for time's sake here. Trevor Lawrence, he's going to. I want to keep an eye on Trevor. He's shown, in my opinion, like he belongs. His team.
I just think there's only 12 spots each week.
Yeah.
He's just not looking good.
I'm not flexing him this week. Obviously, I'm not.
No,
I'm not rostering
if you're in
him.
a 2 quarterback league, though,
It's
play him?
different. Yeah. I mean, you would think about playing him. I'm not in a 2 quarterback league, so I would have to know how that works.
Kind of fun.
Yeah, I would have to see how. Honest to
league
God,
is-
I would have to see how that works. But in a standard league like this, I don't even. I mean, he could be rostered.
Let's go to the running back. James Robinson, Carlos Hyde. You know, James Robinson probably a flex right
if
now.
I'm desperate, Robinson, I don't.
But then you
think-
get out of game script. You know what I mean? Like you like this, you get out of game script, and then all of a sudden Carlos Hyde's in there. And it's just he's another one. He's a headache. Like, you just don't want to deal with him.
DJ Chark, Laviska Shenault, Marvin Jones. Starting any of them?
Along with Chenault,
Barring him being healthy.
Assuming they're all healthy, Jones, Chenault, Sharp, that order.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I would start Jones as a flex, but then we're too early to get the other two for me.
I don't want to play anyone with Jones. I
wouldn't
want to
even
play
bother.
Jones. I'm debating on flexing him this week for my team. He's on my bench.
Yeah.
I don't want to play Chenault or Chark.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Cardinals are obviously going to get out to a big lead really quick.
Any interest in Jacob Hollister? O'Shaughnessy is now on the IR. Hollister.
It's just a bad
particularly,
offense.
yeah.
It's
No.
a type of offense.
Don't start Hollister.
Yeah, it's an offense I stay away from.
Let's go on to the New Orleans Saints. 1-1 New Orleans Saints got the break speed off of them
A little
by
bit of a reality check.
Carolina.
Better than we from the Carolina team.
Yeah, the taking on the
Or is it that the Saints aren't as good as we thought?
I think a little mix of both, but
Carolina's pretty good.
1-1 New Orleans Saints taking on the New England Patriots at home, also 1-1. The Saints are currently 3-point underdogs, over under a 42. start on the Saints side. Jameis Winston has not thrown for over 150 yards yet in the game.
You cannot
stay far away from him.
Yeah.
Yep. I want no part of Jameis Winston.
Callaway's a drop. We're done with him for the year. I think we could.
Yeah, I don't think you could start any Saint but Alvin Kamara.
Yeah, I think we've. Tony Jones? Has he been getting that? Not even.
Kamara.
I mean,
that's
Jones is a must roster in case something did happen to Kamara, but just Alvin is the only one that
yeah.
And even then,
that was going to be a question I posed. I completely agree with you. I think Marcus Callaway is droppable.
Yeah, I think we're done with him.
I would drop him.
Yeah, I think we're 5 weeks out. I think from Michael Thomas potentially being back, and he hasn't done anything in the first 2 weeks.
Are you concerned? I actually have Michael Thomas sitting on my IR in another league. What's your opinion? Are you concerned at all, based on what you're seeing out of Jameis? Like the volume just isn't there for them to throw.
Yes and no. I think when he comes back, he's such a good player that if he is healthy and ready to play, and he wants to play for them, obviously, that he could change the dynamic a little bit of that team. You know what I mean? Like he's a fantastic possession receiver. So you add a Michael Thomas to that team.
Can't guard mine.
I think it might change things a little bit, especially it might open things up a little bit more for Jameis. So now I wouldn't say I'm worried yet. 2 games into the season. No.
Chances that Jameis Winston gets his arm operated on in the offseason? He fixed his eyes, his arm don't work. Maybe he'll fix his arm.
Poor Jameis.
Jump to the Patriots. Despite the Saints and the joke of last week, I don't really want to start anyone against that defense. I don't want to start. We'll start with receivers. Nelson Aguilar, Jacoby Myers.
No, I'm not.
No, I'm good.
I'm in on Damian Harris.
I think Aguilar's getting to the point too where like he's borderline droppable.
I think you could drop Aguilar. Yeah.
Yeah, I would be.
I just don't want to deal with it.
I don't think he's rostered in our league.
Yeah, I think he was dropped.
I would not. I wouldn't be opposed to dropping him.
Jacoby Myers, I'd probably hold on to just to see. He's getting a good share.
See, the problem is here is like a really good game for Mac Jones this year is what?
220 yards,
250 and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
And they have Hunter Henry, Jonas Smith.
I want to roster Damian Harris. I want to roster James White.
You know what I mean?
I don't
you
want
got
to
all
roster
these players getting these catches, and the guy's only going to top out at so many yards.
Yeah, I want to avoid even the tight ends if I can. I don't want to deal with the headache of is it Jones or is it Hunter and someone else. You're playing roulette.
As the owner, I'm obviously firing up Damian Harris, and I like the matchup this week with. I think they get out to a little bit of a lead, and they're able to start, doing the clock thing, working a little bit.
Jumping a little bit ahead though. Like this isn't even really fancy. This is just straight up football. Brady is poised to
head back, right?
Yeah, he's
October
going back.
or something.
Yeah,
October.
Yeah, next week.
Yeah. Oh, is it next week?
I believe it's next week.
Interesting.
So he'll be in position, I think, to get the what's that right? He's 2 games away from I think the all-time yards.
That'd be interesting.
So yeah, like
be a great spot for him.
They're projected.
Come full circle for him.
Which means he's going to throw his ass off this week.
Can you imagine?
He has the Rams this week.
Fantastic
Sake of time, we keep it moving. We still have quite a few 1 o'clock games to get to. Washington football team 1-1, 7-point underdogs traveling to Buffalo to take on the 1-1 Bills. 65% chance of rain this week. 10-mile-an-hour winds.
That's awesome.
The over/under for a Buffalo game speaks to it. 45.5, pretty low for a Buffalo offense. Washington's defense has not been what we expected so far. Do they get back on track? Are you scared of any of the Bills? Playing any of the Bills against this defense?
Not scared. I mean, you're obviously starting Josh Allen. You're starting. I think you can start Singletary, to be honest. I think you're obviously starting Stephon Diggs. Honestly, there's a lot of. I think Emmanuel Sanders.
He's just gonna bring his name up.
Yeah, the win may be a factor. Like I've been to Buffalo for a game there. The win there does get crazy. It's
with Devin Singletary's fumble issues and the rain and the weather there.
Zach Moss.
You flex Zach Moss. I don't like it.
This backfield, man.
Yeah, I don't like it, but I'm not.
No, and that's
I don't hate it.
This is a reason I'm excited for Gibson this week. He hasn't gotten in the end zone. He's got a lot of yards, and I'm really excited for
Jake
him to
is
win.
the Gibson owner.
Yes,
if you can't tell by how he's
but Zach Moss
waxing poetic about Antonio Gibson.
I don't think no. Again, we're too early for me to. I probably have a better option on my.
You're starting McLaurin.
I think.
All right, yeah. Jump into the Washington side. You're playing McLaurin. I'm playing Logan Thomas. I'm playing Antonio Gibson.
The big question.
I'm probably good from
J.D.
there.
McKissick?
No.
No?
No, I don't think so. If you've watched, and obviously, like you said, I'm the owner of the Gibson. He's been eating into a lot of receptions on first and second down, so he's not getting the touchdowns, but his volume of work is.
Oh man, I just thought of that.
Is really high right now.
You have Taylor, Gibson, and Harris, and Brian has McKissick,
James White,
and Nyheim Hines. It's like a nightmare.
McKissick or Zach Moss? Same game, opposite ends.
I think I'd go McKissick.
I think with the wind being a factor, I'd probably go Moss on that one.
Yeah.
Maybe a little less throwing.
I lean Moss. I don't like it. But
I think
lean
I'd go
Moss.
McKissick.
Yeah, I just think weather being a factor there.
I think this is going to be just an ugly game.
Shitty quarterback.
He didn't look too bad.
Fire up both defenses in this game.
Bills.
You play Washington's defense?
No, I dropped them.
No. I'm okay with Washington's defense on the road. On the road in Buffalo. It's not the but like
dude. Very, very disappointing.
It's just the Josh Allen intimidation factor, although he has not been living up to last year.
I just
Through the first, it's
for
early.
some
It's
reason-
still very early.
I know it was a lot of them RPOs, but Dan Jones ripped them apart last week.
Yeah, I just think for some reason we're going to see a lot of turnovers.
No
in that
pressure.
Daniel
game.
Jones is sneaky fast.
No pressure. They
Top 5 quarterback in fantasy right now.
I think
Daniel Jones. I think you're going to see quite a few turnovers in that game. Let's jump to the next game. The Los Angeles Chargers 1-1 taking on the home team 1-1 Kansas City Chiefs. This game is a
fire them the fuck
Start
up.
everyone.
Fire everybody the fuck up in this one.
54.5 point over
If
under.
you have a Kansas City Chief or a Los
play
Angeles
'em.
Charger, I couldn't think of that one.
Yeah,
Fire them up.
Los Angeles Chargers. You're playing Keenan Allen. You're playing Mike Williams, who potential breakout year.
He
for
is
him.
looking
Like,
amazing.
yeah,
We're waiting
breakout.
for something.
Alex might have got a steal.
When's the other shoe going to drop? He's going to get hurt.
When's he hurt his shoulder?
When's he fall too hard and
Yeah.
his fucking shoulder?
Justin
looks
Herbert.
phenomenal.
Fire him
You're
up.
playing Herbert.
fire him
Eckler, you're playing. Jarrett Cook, you're playing.
Fire him up.
I love Cook this week. I actually will have Cook easily, I think, top 8 tight end this week. I think you're going to get good value from
No
him.
concern about
There's just
Harden?
points sitting everywhere.
No, he got a touchdown last week, but I think Cook's just the more
Consistent.
consistent guy at the
Yeah.
moment. I can see them flopping as the year goes on, but right now I think you fire up Cook. Kansas City Chiefs. I mean,
Literally the
everyone-
team.
yeah, you
Hardman.
if you got a fan in the stands wearing a Mahomes jersey, you start
Put
him.
on the field. Yeah.
So Mahomes, you're playing. Tyreek Hill, you're playing. Travis Kelce, you're playing. Clyde Edwards-Helaire?
You have to. Not that you. And then
Where you
have to
drafted
have
him,
yeah.
like you probably don't have
Yeah,
somebody
you're
better.
not happy about
Like
it.
he's not going to return.
If you fell into a Robinson, I mean that sucks to say, but maybe you think about
Yeah.
James Robinson over him. But you just draft capital. You have to.
I think you just have to
Clyde Edwards-Helaire,
adjust expectations
or
with him.
we haven't gotten to this game yet, but Elijah Mitchell if he plays.
Mitchell if he plays.
Clyde,
I got Mitchell here.
Mitchell, Clyde, or James Robinson. You mentioned Robinson.
Bah.
Robinson
Clyde.
against the Cardinals.
Yeah,
be
with,
Clyde.
with the way that I think this game's going to go, I just think there's going to be a lot of points, a lot of opportunities on the Clyde.
I'll also go Clyde, but how it feels so shitty makes me really like. It's so bad that we're at this point in the season. We're like a couple weeks in, and I'm going, I gotta start Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
I'm glad he
there's
wasn't
going to be
my
a lot.
choice.
I mean, it's not for
I don't
Mike.
even
It's
wanna buy
not
low on him.
who was our Clyde guy, but like there are teams that's their one.
I don't want to even buy low.
Like
Is that bad? I don't even want to buy low on Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I don't want any part of him. The
He's
guy
looked
sees
horrible. He's looked
15
absolutely horrible.
carries a game for 3 yards a carry.
Add on the fumble.
it is
And
surprising.
fumble.
Like they're not. Yeah, he's fumbling. He's
He'll
small.
never see the
Yeah.
end zone.
He
They
can't
just
even
don't
see.
need him.
They're not even throwing. Yeah, they're not even throwing the ball. Like,
Yeah, his targets aren't there. That's the biggest thing for me. Is his
well, I mean,
targets
it
aren't
makes
there.
it's just the offense. I mean, like, why would you take that little dump off when Pat Mahomes is
You
just
saw
going to
what
look for
happened.
Travis
I was gonna say, you
Kelce?
saw what happens. You give Travis Kelce a 7-yard pass. He's running down the field.
Yeah,
for a
I mean, you
touchdown.
got guys even like Byron Pringle.
It's just how the
Marcus
offense
Robinson
is.
had a
Yeah.
touchdown.
Yeah.
You're firing. You're playing Clyde if you have him that game, but something
not
to keep
feeling great.
your eye on. Yeah, let's go to the last 1:00 game. The Atlanta Falcons 0-2 taking on the 0-2 New York Giants. the dumpster bowl of the week. Giants are home. They are
You say that, but I think this is going to be a fun game.
It's actually pretty high.
It is a
47.5
point over-under. Yeah, the Giants are 3-point favorites at home. It's basically a pick 'em. Let's start on the Atlanta side. Calvin Ridley finally got on track last week. Not a ton of yards, but he got into the end zone. You're playing Ridley. You're playing Kyle Pitts. If you drafted him, you are, right?
I drafted him, and I have to. And I'm hoping for this to be he did all right last week. I'm hoping this to be the touchdown game with Kyle Pitts.
You also have Tunyon, right?
Yeah.
At any point, are you looking to maybe bench Pitts and go to Tunyon?
Everyone can tell you this. I'm actively trying to
move one of them.
Yeah. We have a couple tight end needy teams in our league, and I looked at our waiver wire this week, and there was not a single tight end you could have picked up to start over anybody you have. Goddard.
Listen, if you're looking
Smith,
for a tight end one, I got him.
I don't need a tight end.
No, the tight
Russell
end.
Gage. He's banged up. There is reports
He's hurt.
He's hurt.
Yeah.
If he plays, I don't want to play him.
I don't think you can, based on what he's turned in so far. Like Russell
not a great
Gage, the
matchup either.
biggest hype disappointment thus far this season.
Yeah, I was hyping him up for the season.
Everyone was.
I'm gonna go again because I'm hoping for a Pitts game this week. So that would be my reason.
Well, not for your team. For the general.
Oh, for in general, no.
Mike Davis, Cordell Patterson.
I love me a Swiss Army knife.
I play Davis.
I
don't want to play Patterson, but he needs to show me another week or two
I was just
of
about
me
to say,
saying.
I'm not playing him, but dude, if he does something again,
he might got a steal.
He might be a flex player. Yeah, he might have become. He's the best runner on the team.
He's on the field a lot,
and he gives you that added element. If God forbid he ever breaks one, you get that 6 points.
Yeah. Matt Ryan, I'm okay streaming him.
Yeah, I think this is gonna be a fun game, dude. I'm telling you, I really think it's gonna be a shitty game on the schedule, but I think it's gonna be a really fun game for fans.
I'm okay streaming him. I'd rather stream the quarterback on the other side.
Start of the week. That is my start of the week.
Daniel Jones.
I think this is
quarterback 4, by the way.
Excellent game.
Sterling Shepard,
I was
Kenny
hoping
Galladay.
when he was running that down the field.
And Ingram might be back.
And I was going to get to him too. Darius Slayton, Kenny Galladay, Sterling Shepard. I'm playing Shepard.
You have to.
Unfortunately,
Ryan
got him.
Shepard. Ryan can verify this. When he picked him up, I actually texted Ryan and said that was a great pick.
Yeah, I was so pissed.
I'm playing Shepard. I'm playing Galladay.
Yeah. I was looking at him, and I really wanted it. But Galladay, I like Galladay. I think, like I said, I think this is going to be a fun game. I think it's going to be a nice scoring game. I think there's going to be a lot of points to go around this week.
Let's say, what are your thoughts on Saquon?
You have to start him. You have to.
But he's another.
If he doesn't produce this week, what do you do?
You panic.
He was one where he was off my board in the first round, and then if he got to me in the second round, say there was him and Mixon, I'm taking Mixon.
It was now. See, I had 11. I was towards the back end, so I was like the third was the earliest I would have considered.
Yeah, I wasn't even.
There were two. Like I mean,
no way he ever falls to the third, right?
But no.
If he was the last running back in my top,
but
I would take him. But
I mean, and he we were joking last week. He had that 41-yard run, and then he disappeared. That's it. But I mean,
at one point,
that's the point. When he can rip something off like that at any point.
He had 41. He had a 41-yard run, and at one point he was 8 carries for 41 yards. He's just not seeing the passing down work either right now. They're not. Daniel Jones is also starting to run the ball more. I'm playing him. I'm more happy about playing him than Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
Two players I'm really.
But where are you right now? But where are you didn't draft him?
There's definitely teams out there that went 1-2.
Yeah.
With those.
And they're probably not.
And they are 0-2. Yeah.
Evan Ingram, Jake just mentioned he could be back this week. Looks like he's going to be back.
I don't think you start him.
It just takes away from.
I think. We're in a league. We're in a league together where.
Wait and see.
We're in a league together where tight ends went often and early. It was very, very different draft. A lot of.
Usually.
Yeah, it's a family league draft. Double tight ends are taken on teams. I punt tight end pretty frequently if I weren't getting my top 5. My tight end choices were like Cole Kmet, Evan Ingram, and I don't even know who else was out there.
They're far few between right now.
I'm starting Evan Ingram this week. I don't want to, but I think you have better options if you have to.
That was my whole point about holding the Tunyon right now is that there's value with it, and eventually someone's going to break, and maybe I won't get something crazy for him, but I should be able to turn him into something.
All right, we have got 6 games left. Can we rapid fire?
Sure.
All right, 4:05 games. The New York Jets 0-2.
Nothing.
10-point dogs going to Denver to take on the 2-0 Denver Broncos.
Give me Cortland Sutton. Give me Denver. I'm staying away from the running back.
I'd start Corey Davis.
I'm staying away from the running back.
You guys want to hear the over-under?
I know what it is.
41.5 point over-under with Denver 10-point favorites.
Give me Denver's defense, give me Courtney Sutton, and I'm staying away from
That
you wouldn't touch Gordon or Javante?
Nah,
Let's go.
I'm going to run game. No,
Let's go to the Jets first. Let's go to the Jets first for
you
sake
get a second dive into the run game.
of organization. I'm not starting any of the Jets running backs.
No, that's a mess.
I'm dropping Tevin Coleman.
I did.
I'm dropping Ty Johnson,
I couldn't.
and I'm holding Michael
I
Carter.
did.
I couldn't.
And I'm holding Michael Carter. I'm probably never going to start him unless he starts becoming 75%, 80% snaps.
There's no value on the offense. Unfortunately, Corey Davis, maybe. Depending on what your
I would flex Corey
yeah,
Davis.
depending on what your lineup looked like. If he was your top flex option, obviously go with him.
I think that's it with the Jets. I think it's superior.
Yeah.
I think Denver's defense more than something bigger.
You caught Elijah Moore?
Yes.
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah, I caught him.
There's enough value out there.
I caught him. You fire up New York's defense. Jets defense against the Broncos?
Nah.
No, Teddy Bridgewater's
doing
looking
alright.
nasty.
Oh, I'm sorry. Noah Font was fine.
Okay. Well, let's get to them. You said you're streaming Teddy Bridgewater.
Yeah.
You're good with streaming
I would
Bridgewater?
stream Teddy.
Not streaming? I'd stream Teddy.
I mean, like, yeah, if you're desperate, like, two quarterback league, you need a second quarterback,
If you're already streaming quarterbacks, maybe, but I think most of us right now are kind of set in your quarterback. I don't think we have
General public.
Steve was the first one, I think, to make a move on the quarterback.
Well, Steve,
General public, I'd
broken
stream.
case of emergency.
I'd stream
Paul
Bridgewater.
Yeah.
You're playing Sutton. Most air yards of anybody in the league last week. Most air yards of anyone in the league last year. In one game. Sorry. Cortland Sutton last week. Didn't get in the end zone. Still had a great game.
Crazy. I don't know if you guys saw Foster actually. I convinced Foster to bench for Devontae Smith. Like during the this is pre the game. Like during the week, Sutton was limping in practice. He was running around and he had a noticeable limp. So it's pretty incredible what he did.
Crazy.
And he didn't have a touchdown, did he?
No.
Either. He was the only one.
Yeah, Patrick ball one.
No, he did not yet. He was 12 targets, 9 receptions, 159 yards.
Yeah, I think I'm cool with starting pretty much every Bronco.
I'm
not gonna lie.
I'm starting Noah Fant.
Yeah, definitely Fant.
Starting Cortland Sutton. I'm okay streaming Teddy Bridgewater.
I think I would flex Tim Patrick.
Can you rely on a touchdown again?
I don't want.
That's what you're doing.
I don't want to play.
I'm saying he got one
Hamler
last
or
week. Yeah, I'm not banking on him scoring.
Let's talk the running backs. Melvin Gordon and Devontae.
I'm out on
Javonte Williams.
I'm out on both running backs. Their run game is terrible.
Yeah,
There's a reason Teddy Bridgewater is playing the way he's playing.
I don't want to play either of them, but I think I'd play Melvin Gordon if I had to. I wouldn't like it.
So if you were Matt, you'd play Melvin Gordon. I think he's kind of in the
Yeah.
Yo, Matt.
Yeah.
Give me a call, buddy. Come on, buddy. I got a running back for you.
Melvin Gordon. He's looking at Melvin Gordon or Sony Michel. I'll play Gordon.
I mean,
what if? Well, I think that depends on Henderson's ribs.
If Henderson is out, I'd still play Gordon.
Yeah, I don't think.
Really?
Yeah.
That game's gonna start. That game will get a little out of hand where the pass is gonna come down. I can't see.
I've read that book before.
You've been there with Sony.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna see much out of him.
I think Sean McVay will try to establish a run game.
Yeah. For sure. They make running backs work there. The 1-1 Miami Dolphins, 4-point underdogs, traveling to your 2-0 Las Vegas Raiders. 45-point over under.
The Raiders.
Tua is not playing in this game.
Stay far away from every single gen.
I think that gives you.
Dolphin. I think they.
Well, we both apply.
Yeah.
don't start that either.
Defense, I think you start with percent in there. You're probably looking at a couple turnovers.
Yeah.
Carr, you picked up Carr this week. I think
Let's start on the Miami side. Devontae Parker, they get Will Fuller back this week, and Jalen Waddle. You playing any of them?
I'm good on any.
Can't know.
I'm sitting them all as well.
You don't know what it's going to be like with Jacoby.
Mike Gesicki, you can drop him.
2 weeks ago.
Yeah. Miles Gaskin.
Not the game script for him this week.
I put Gaskin.
I think if you have Gaskin, you have to play him.
Gaskin
I think you He's your running back 2 or he's your flex?
Rank these 3: Gaskin, Sony Michel, Melvin Gordon.
Melvin Gordon, Sony Michel.
Can I have a caveat? Is Henderson playing?
Henderson not playing.
Henderson not playing. Michel
And then the
Gordon.
offense with
Gaskin.
I think they're all in the same tier. I play Gaskin. I'd probably go Gaskin. I just said I'd play Melvin Gordon, but damn, now I'm thinking about it. They both.
Yeah,
both are eternal.
Like,
for
yeah,
me,
the Bucs have a great rushing defense, but I think, like Jake said, like this is a who's who of wide receivers in this game. So I mean,
the Raiders.
No, the Rams and Bucs game.
Yeah. I'm not
So,
playing Michel.
That's what I'm saying. I would play him.
Did we? Oh no, we were talking about Matt. That's why we didn't get it right. Yeah, I wouldn't play Michel. Michel would be third on that list for me.
Anyway, back to the Raiders.
Raiders. Derek Carr.
You're playing.
You're streaming them. Henry Ruggs, Bryan Edwards.
I think either of them could work as a desperation flex. Obviously, you're starting Waller.
I think you're picking one. That's the problem, though.
Yeah,
trying to hit on
you're
one
flipping a coin.
Yeah, so I mean, you're gonna
Henry
hit
Ruggs
one's
is gonna
not
get a
hit.
big play.
Waller, obviously.
They're gonna write in 1 or 2 big plays for Henry Ruggs.
No Jacobs.
Whether
Start
they
Drake?
hit. If Jacobs is in, you play him.
No Jacobs.
Oh, no Jacobs. Yeah, I'll play Drake. Give me Drake. Give me Drake over all the 3 names we just.
Yeah, I think he would be the best.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
We talked about. I'm not playing Peyton Barber.
No, I'm not rostering him.
I'm not
From
dropping
Steve's team for 15 minutes.
I'm not dropping Terrence Marshall for him. I'm not doing any of that. Darren Waller is an obvious choice. You're playing him week in, week out, regardless of the matchup. Let's go on to the next game here. Going to go to the game we actually just mentioned.
The game we keep talking about.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers, game of the week, I think.
Yeah.
Versus 2-0 Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 2-0 Los Angeles Rams. The game is in LA. The Rams are 1.5-point dogs at home.
Again, this is another one of them. Just
Potential
fire up
NFC.
NFC.
Probably
You get an early preview.
Early
the NFC
preview.
Championship game.
It's a 55.5-point over.
You fire up the running back in LA. You could play Stafford this week. You start both wide receivers.
Let's start on the Bucs.
You did this to me 2 games in a row.
All right, I'm going away teams first.
All right.
Fine. We'll do Rams first. Let's do Rams. I play Stafford.
Higbee.
So I think Stafford's an every week starter at this point.
Yeah, I play Stafford. I play Kupp. I play Woods.
I'm not saying that just because he's my every week starter.
I play Higbee.
Yeah, I would start Higbee.
Higbee is playing every snap.
Man, I don't want to play Michelle.
I think you have to.
I'm starting just because of the points.
I mean, you're just hoping for a goal line carry.
I don't play him.
And that's so good.
I don't want to.
Darrell Henderson, you play if he plays this week.
Yes.
Darrell Henderson plays this week.
You have
knowing he has a rib injury.
Knowing
the way Sony played last week.
I am less
because I'm hoping he plays.
I think that's where I was going to go.
I am begging him to play this week.
That's where I was going to go. I'm less likely to play Henderson than I would be to play Michelle.
Because he would get more of the workload. You think?
If Henderson's playing, I want to look for another option.
I am begging.
That's the thing, though. If you have Henderson, are you in a position to have another option?
I think
he went what, the 4th round?
Yeah,
we'll break it off our league. Tom
Henderson and Robinson.
Yeah,
I'm playing Robinson.
I think I go if Henderson, because if it's just like a rib bruise, that's a pain tolerance thing
against the best rushing defense we've seen in the last 2
but
weeks.
again, true.
See, the thing is, all right, so it's just a bruise, right? But Sony played pretty good last week, so he's just even if he plays and he's injured a little bit, he's just. I hear what
you guys are saying.
Just a little bit.
I think
I hear what you're saying.
70-30 kills Darrell Henderson.
I don't like. I like.
70-30 kills him.
For fantasy, I never sell Sean McVay short.
I think they're going to just take the top off the defense. I think Robert Woods and Cooper Kupp are both going to have huge games this week.
I'm expecting.
I think they're both going to be like top 12 plays.
Would you be willing to flex
Van Jefferson?
Yeah.
Not if I couldn't. If I didn't have to, I wouldn't. I'm okay with it.
Higbee's a start, as we said.
Yeah,
I'd start Higbee. Yeah. I don't want to play Van Jefferson, but
obviously Cooper Kupp, number 1 wide receiver.
Yeah, you're throwing.
I'm expecting that to continue.
They're best friends, man.
I play Van Jefferson over any of the Miami receivers.
Yeah. With that quarter.
I agree.
Let's go on the Bucs. Tom Brady, you want to start him?
Yeah, of course.
That was almost half kidding. I mean, he's obviously you start him, but
dude, it is crazy. How is he doing it?
I think I just read something. He has more touchdowns in his 40s than he does in his 20s.
He's creeping.
It's close. It's very close.
He's creeping on it. So the real question for this team is, what do you do at running back? Would you drop Ronald Jones?
No.
No, you don't drop just because of the value of running backs, right?
Yeah, I don't think you're gonna.
But we're at that point with him, correct?
You're not gonna get anything.
I think eventually, I think he's the most talented running back on that team.
Well, they called him the starter, and then we came out. Leonard Fournette dominated the game last week.
Well, he did have the first carry on that team, so he
6
did
for 27
start.
last week. 6 for 27 last week. I'm not playing him.
No, but I think we're at that point with Ronald Jones where
There have to be someone out there that
you're trying to move him because you want to drop him, and you'd rather have somebody else in your team. But you just can't drop him.
Yeah.
You can't drop a running back.
I wouldn't drop him.
He's an injury away from being a full-time starter on
Yeah.
one of the best offenses.
I don't want to play.
It's funny how this works though. With all these good offenses, the running back's always like just a Clyde. You know what I mean? Like it becomes like a shuffle routine.
I don't want to play Gio, of course. Gronkowski.
I forgot about him.
Gronkowski, you're starting. Evans and Godwin all get a bump if Antonio Brown's out. If Antonio Brown does miss, any interest in Scotty Miller?
Nah, I think there's too
I
much
mean,
there.
I think he's a
Week 8.
He's a deep flex.
Maybe week 8. If this was week 8, I'd be like, hey,
he's a deep flex, or he might actually be a pretty sharp DFS play.
Yeah.
But other than that, nah.
I don't think I can rely on him.
I think if AB does miss, I think Evans is probably going to actually have a less than stellar game because I think he's going to be dealing with Jalen Ramsey.
Probably following him.
Yeah.
A lot of starts in that game, though.
Oh, you have to.
Rams defense, last question here. Bucks defense, both drafted first and second defense off the board. Do you play them in this matchup?
I can't. Not with that over-under, I can't. You sit them you roster them if you can. Hopefully you're working on an IR spot. You keep them rostered, but you try to stream somebody this week.
What would you do with an IR spot?
To have that extra spot. I'm saying on your to have that extra spot.
Oh, you mean like if you have someone who's out,
you'd be able to put them in the
Step
IR.
1, step 2,
gotcha.
question.
This way,
Gotcha.
It makes it easier to roster.
I thought you were going the route of like you throw a defense in your IR, and I was like, that is
They're all hurt.
that is game breaking.
No, it gives you a little bit more of a chance to roster team.
I never even.
I don't think you could start either of them. Just both of those offenses.
Last 4 o'clock game. The Seattle Seahawks, 1.5 point favorites, visiting the Minnesota Vikings, 0-2. Vikings home as mentioned. Over under.
Also 55.5.
Over and under.
Another fun one.
55.5.
Yeah, the 4 o'clock games are going to be bangers.
We'll start with the home team this time. We'll go that route. Minnesota. I play Kirk.
Yes. Yeah.
Play
Kirk
Kirk.
Start this week.
Dalvin Cook's pretty good at
That's
football.
another one. I think that's another start everybody.
Can you start all 3 wide receivers?
Thielen, Jefferson, I'm okay.
I think
flexing
Osborne is a flex.
Okay.
I think I said this earlier. I think for Jose, I would flex Osborne.
Which, by the way, $38 spent on receivers this week. Jose has neither of them in his lineup.
And then Pascal.
Yes,
But
last week.
Pascal's still dealing with an injury, right?
I believe so.
Well, still money spent on receivers.
Yeah, not wrong.
You don't get to keep it, right?
Playing everyone there.
Still has more. Does he have more fab than you? Right
He
now?
does. Yeah. I'm playing the guy I picked up.
Well, assuming his shoulder's all right.
Yeah, he looked pretty good last week. We'll get into that too. I think we will.
Yep. Next game.
Tyler Lockett, DK Metcalf, play him. Russell Wilson,
Start all
play
the
him.
Seahawks too.
Chris Carson, play him.
Jose, start your lineup this week, please.
You play Gerald Everett? I don't want to.
Okay. When I said start them all, I wasn't counting the tight ends, guys.
I'm not playing Gerald Everett if I don't have to. Freddie Swain. Big game last week.
It just sucks because it's week 3. And
I don't want him.
You hate to be like, I gotta throw Freddie Swain into my lineup this week.
You want to hear something funny?
I don't think you play either of the tight ends.
I'm not playing them.
On either side.
I'm not playing the slot receivers, Freddie Swain either. Well, the whole time we were doing this, I was looking to see who had Leonard Fournette in our league to see how many. For some reason, I wanted to see what he did last. I'm looking on everyone's bench to look for Leonard Fournette.
Steve started
Steve's starting lineup.
Welcome to the bottom of the East, my friend.
I should have just went right to Steve's lineup.
Welcome
It's rough. Steve is just like he went from being perennial playoff team to then changes his name and now he's
the best owner in the East, as I was told.
I had him as my prediction of pre-draft.
He'll never live this down.
Who said that?
Jose.
We're gonna have him call in again. We should look into having. Like
Next week's
Yeah,
guest.
more guests. Good guests back going up again.
Let's go to the 8:20 game. Another one, not maybe as fantasy relevant, but a great game, I think.
Oh, this is very fantasy relevant.
Yeah.
This is the end of my game.
over
This
under.
is the end of my game. on
This isn't
Sunday.
Chiefs Chargers or Seahawks
No,
Vikings, I think,
but I mean for
the
personal
1-1
implications.
Green Bay Packers taking on the 2-0 San Francisco 49ers. San Francisco 49ers, 3.5-point favorites at home. The over-under is a 49.5. Start with the Niners.
Mitchell.
If Elijah Mitchell is healthy, you play him.
Yep.
If Trey Sermon and Elijah Mitchell are healthy, you play Mitchell.
Yes. Oh yeah.
I don't play Sermon.
Mitchell's clearly the lead dog there right
I
now.
was asking Matt last week, the owner of Trey Sermon in our league, if he's a drop candidate.
I don't think Matt will drop him.
I don't think Matt
He
will.
needs him to
Yeah, I
pan
don't
out.
think Matt will.
He
I'm
needs him
saying.
to pan
I'm just
out,
asking
yeah.
if he
That's a
is now.
lot of draft capital to cut bait on.
Yeah, and Melvin
saying,
Gordon
man,
is
That's a
his
fifth round
RB2.
pick, right?
Guy came in one play injured.
He got crushed.
I know it ain't his fault, but
If anyone has a chance to go back and watch that play again, his head hits 4 different things in one play.
and it shouldn't be a flag.
How he got up was unbelievable. What if they both don't play?
Well, Hasty's hurt too.
You can't play.
Cannon?
You can't play Jaquez Patrick.
Yeah, I'm out on the same frame running back. If none of them are playing,
I'm
if
not
Sermon's the
playing
only
any
one
of them.
playing, I don't even know if I'm starting him to be honest. Maybe
Yeah,
the way they run the
you
ball.
have to.
Yeah, I guess the way they run the ball, you have to.
Debo Samuel, you're firing up.
Yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Brandon Ayuk, you're not.
No.
Not this
I'm
week.
leaving him on my bench.
No,
and
I don't think you
Drop
touch
candidate?
Ayuk
Drop-
until you say it.
Drop/sell low candidate.
if Ayuk is
Because
You
won't
mean
drop
sell low?
Like, you-
I
like
don't.
package him with
Again,
something.
he's
yeah.
somebody on your roster where you're like, I want to drop this guy, but I don't because of who he is, and I feel like if I'd be better off moving him just to
If
get
he's
a
an
value.
add-on that'll get me something,
Yeah.
yeah, but I wouldn't just give him away in a 1-for-1.
No,
If he doesn't
like if you were
show
getting
just-
a depth running back, you wouldn't do that.
It depends on which depth running back. Like, am I getting it back up?
I want to say Mark Ingram, but maybe someone a tier up from Mark Ingram, James Robinson.
Yeah,
Yeah, I would do that.
yeah, I trade Robinson.
Get what you can.
If he doesn't perform this week, I'll cut him.
Yeah.
I'll cut him.
Mike Davis.
Yeah, I would take my game, sir.
I cut him next week if he didn't.
Okay, so if he doesn't
Yeah.
reduce, then we're looking at a cut.
And that's that's another like a dude. Like,
That's pretty much. I mean,
how is everybody so like? Is it Shanahan or is it just like the beat reporters just didn't know what the fuck they're
I
talking
think
about?
it's just a baby.
At that point,
Well, it's not even him. It's like Sermon's looking like a miss. Ayuk's a miss.
yeah.
Like, what's going on?
Dude, he killed it last year. I mean, he had a fucking fantastic.
Yeah, well, that's exactly that's why I would want to hang on him because you know he's got the potential.
He
But
has
then
the
you're
potential.
Wasting, I mean,
yeah.
you're wasting a spot.
And to be
But
honest
the
with
chances
you-
are, if you have him though, you spent a 4th, 5th, maybe a 6th round draft pick on him.
And that's what I mean by selling low. Like, okay, so you spend a 5th rounder on him, do you sell him for somebody's 9th round pick, 8th round pick, 10th round pick?
I just don't want to deal with it. If he's not
Yeah,
producing
you
this
can't
week,
start him.
You're better off taking a flyer.
you're at home in Green
Yeah.
Bay, who has shown that their defense is breakable. Yeah, very vulnerable defense. If he doesn't perform here, if he's not getting his normal snap count, if he's not increasing, I'm okay cutting him. I just don't want to deal with the headache. George Kittle, also disappointing this year.
Have to start.
Yeah, it's a draft
Play
capital
him.
start.
I'm not playing Jimmy G.
It's
I'm not.
It's a little less of a stinger because he's a tight end. I mean, there's only like 3 or 4 tight ends that are really producing every week
Well,
right now.
he also though was a 3rd round capital player.
Yeah, no, exactly. But
I've been
but
pleasantly.
still, like he got what 9.5.
I've been pleasantly surprised with that offense with Debo looking like the main option. Even with Kittle in the lineup, he looks like he's the go-to guy right now for Jimmy G.
Yeah, and speaking of Jimmy G, I'm not playing Jimmy G.
No.
And I count down the seconds.
I
till
mean,
Trey Lance
as the
takes
Trey
over.
Lance owner, I don't know why they're still.
I mean, they're winning.
2-0. Defense wins championships.
Yeah, they're not.
You don't break up a team like that.
Packers side of the ball, Aaron Rodgers, get right game last week. Great game. Aaron Jones, you're playing him.
Rodgers is still the man.
Devontae Adams, playing him. I don't want to play any of the other receivers. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, you're out on him?
Horrible.
Start Tunyon.
I don't think. I still want to keep my eyes on him if he does.
I think it's horrible.
He had a horrible game, but I don't know if you watched the whole game. Like Rodgers had
Missed
him
him on one.
on a couple,
Was it 1 or 2? I
2
know
or
he missed
3.
him on
Yeah,
one.
potential
knocked
long
it off a little
touchdowns.
bit.
And it's not Valdez didn't drop it. Rodgers just did not look. I actually messaged our buddy A-Rod, who lives over in Ohio, and he was following the game too. It's like, is it just me or is Rodgers, despite having a great game, still look a bit off? Like he just wasn't fully on.
They started slow.
Your Tunyon question, yeah, probably. For some reason,
You play time.
I don't know why. They're just tight end position right now for 2 weeks.
I'm a big fan of Big Bob.
It's like non-existent.
Rob Gronkowski through 2 weeks, I read a stat. If you cut his fantasy production in half, he's still the RB6 on the year. Or the tight end 6
That's
on
what
the
I'm
year.
saying. Like, there's just no value in it, man.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
No.
That's how it always is.
That's
another
why
wild card
I'm
for
like, Kittle is underperforming based where you got him, but like it's not relative to the position. It's not like the worst thing ever.
No.
Last question for the Packers. You're not playing A.J. Dillon.
I was going to ask this.
No,
Yeah, I was
dude.
going to ask this.
What do you do? You cut him?
I don't think you can cut him just because if something happens to Aaron Jones,
It's like every other running back.
Yeah, but
You
I mean,
can't do it.
but you know,
Yeah.
But again, he's somebody that maybe nobody's going to want him, but like, can I
There's-
get rid of this guy?
I'm not I have him in the league. I'm not actively looking to cut him. I mean, there's probably 2 or 3 guys on my roster I would cut before him just because
Yeah.
the what if.
The upside.
Well,
He's a
yeah.
roster spot.
But I mean, I think you obviously can't start him. Can't start him.
Yeah.
I think he's just you gotta hold him.
All right. Ready for the final game? Big one. 1-1. Philadelphia Eagles.
First place on the line.
The first place in the NFC East is on the line. The Birds travel to Dallas to face the 1-1 Cowboys. Cowboys are 3.5-point favorites at home.
Low line.
So
Eagles line.
a Eagles line for sure, and a good over/under for fantasy, 51.5. Another prime time
Beautiful.
potential great
Losing
line.
BG really hurts.
Yeah. Let's start with the Cowboys. It's going to pain us because we're Eagles fans, but I'm playing Dak Prescott. I'm playing Ezekiel Elliott.
Like Marty Cooper.
I'm watching Amari Cooper's injury status leads up to Monday, and I say that because,
You have to make it this week.
yes, if Amari
I
Cooper,
expect that he'll play.
I expect he plays as well, but if you have someone that you can play on Sunday that you feel good about, Mike Williams, if you could play, I'm playing someone like a Mike Williams.
If I had Mike
Sunday
Williams,
comes.
yeah.
Sunday comes around and he's still, which most likely he will be, a game time decision.
Game time decision.
What do you do?
I think you got to play. You got to play someone
You
on Sunday.
can't afford to
yeah.
miss them.
Marvin Jones, Mike Williams. I'd play them in that scenario.
Because honestly, if you don't hear by Saturday or Sunday his status for the game Monday,
Well, I expect we'll hear something tomorrow.
Or
I feel like it's going to be.
or I'm adding Cedric Wilson to my bench.
Because why would they give away any information to the Eagles? Why would they let the Eagles know Saturday or Sunday he's going to play?
Yeah, I think the
I
only
think he plays.
the only other option you had is
You think he plays, but I don't think they're going to tell you if he's.
Well,
gonna
no. I mean, like, not even about me. Like everything. Like I have been reading about it. Like it's mostly a pain tolerance issue.
Okay.
So I expect
Gun
him
to
to
the
play.
head. You don't know Sunday.
I
This-
think I still start.
This is a matchup, though, I think you can. As much as I play those guys, if you don't have a great play, I do think this is a matchup where you can throw Mark Cooper in your IR and still have Jalen Reagor available, Quez Watkins maybe
Like
available.
you can pick on one of the other.
Cedric Wilson.
Yeah.
So you have
That's
if
an
you have
easy
Tony
pick.
Pollard on your bench, I'm throwing Cooper in my
I was
flex
gonna ask.
and flex.
Would you like?
He said
Not
to
even
throw
that.
it.
Would you flex Pollard?
Yeah, he said this.
I think Pollard is a flex.
Going
is a
forward,
potential
right?
flex going forward.
He said this on the show, or would you?
No,
guys
we were
upstairs?
upstairs.
Oh,
He
no,
was
I was
talking
like,
about. No. I'm saying.
I was like, I'm an
We were
idiot.
talking about.
I still think Zeke is an RB1. Like I still feel very confident.
I
I'm a
think-
Zeke owner.
I think
Pollard-
Zeke's gonna have a good game. I think not
Pollard's
having
just
Brandon
really
Graham really
good.
hurts.
He's just a really good football.
Pollard is not going to take away. He's going to take away because he's playing the same position.
But he adds.
But
He adds.
Ezekiel Elliott is still seeing over 70% of snaps.
Dude,
still,
I hate them, but their offense is so good.
Yeah, they were. Defense
Yeah.
is still.
I mean, and it's banged up and it's still looks good.
Yeah, I just don't. The only thing is, I want to
Credit
see
where credit's
Zeke.
due.
I want to see Zeke get more targets. And Tony Pollard, I think he does too much with the ball. He's electric.
Yeah, you're start. Would you start either of the
Nah.
no Jarwin?
I don't want
no
nothing to do with
Schultz?
Schultz, Jeremy Sprinkle, Blake
I
Jarwin,
don't want to miss.
Ian Bunting, any of the tight ends they throw out there. I don't want anything to do with them.
But so start Dak, starting Amari, CD,
Amari Watch,
CD.
Cedric. If Amari's out,
Yeah, I put Cedric
Cedric
Amari
Wilson.
down.
You start.
Both from
You start Z. Pollard.
Bird side.
Go Birds!
Go Birds. Jalen Hurts, I'm playing him.
Yes, gonna have to.
You every week.
Um,
Jalen Hurts is going to finish as a top 5 fantasy quarterback of the year.
Zach Ertz.
No.
COVID list this week. If Zach Ertz does not play, I'm okay playing Dallas Goedert. even if Zach Ertz does play, I'm still okay playing Dallas Goedert. I just feel less good about it.
Based on what you said earlier, just the tight end spot.
Yeah, I mean, Alex has him, I think, and
he does.
He would. It's like a have to, especially no Ertz. Obviously, his value goes up a little bit. It's just he disappears. He has like a disappearing act for every game.
Yeah, Devontae Smith, Quez Watkins, Jalen Rager.
Smith's probably the only one.
I'd confidently play Smith.
I would play Rager if I have to.
I'll play Rager or Watkins in place of Amari Cooper
would
if I have to.
Would you flex?
Yeah, I'd do
Rager.
If Cooper, if like you said,
no, just you're not hurting. Would you flex? Would you flex him in a?
No.
What about a 3-wide receiver league? Would you have him as a third wide receiver?
I still want to look.
Someone.
I still want to look at.
Yeah, I think
he's not. He's not my. I'm not excited to do it. I would do it. I think it's a great matchup. They're going to build in plays. The Eagles they're going to run bubble screens. They're going to take shots down the field. Hopefully, Jalen Hurts' arm can make it this week and put a little bit more under those throws.
Not their defense.
Yep, I'm not.
As good as the Eagles' defense has been playing, I don't think I would fire them.
I'm not playing any defense.
But going forward, are they a play?
No, because they play the Chiefs next week.
All right, so
I'm dropping the Eagles defense. Unfortunately. Miles Sanders, Kenny Gainwell. You play
Sanders.
Miles. I am flexing Miles.
You definitely play Miles. This game?
I'm getting very close to saying Gainwell's not Pollard yet, but he's Pollard-like.
He is a must. He's a must roster.
If he's not picked up in the league,
he's a must roster.
Yes, check your waiver wire.
If he's not picked, if any of these running backs we've talked about today that we said we wouldn't start or we think about dropping, Ronald Jones, if he's available, pick him up.
Yeah. You're playing Miles. You're potentially playing Kenny. I don't mind the start, but that wraps up the games. So that is the the look ahead for all of the Week 3 games
of the NFL. Something new this week.
Yeah, a little bit longer episode for you. Appreciate you guys sticking in with us as always.
Oh, well, hold on.
Are we gonna do
game picks?
Are we gonna do our picks?
I was gonna go against it. I was gonna cut it this week but
no, we can't do that.
It's up to you guys.
Nah, absolutely not. We'll run through this real quick.
It's only 6 games.
All right, we're gonna do it really, really quick. I want the video getting a little
long
long here.
Well, then let me start off because I got it written down. My game of the week pick, which I think these gentlemen will agree with, Tom versus Fanshaw Jake here. Long-standing rivalry / bromance, maybe love affair. I'm not sure. Tom is projected 115. Jake's 113.6.
1.5 point line. Obviously, I'm taking myself. I'm not in love with my matchups this week, but I think Tom kind of blew his load last week. I'm hoping for a down week from his team.
I think Tom has some pretty good matchups this week.
So
I'm going to go Tom.
Give me the terrorist Tom.
Next week.
We got Matt with a projection of 113 versus Charlie with 108.7.
Matt moves to 3-0.
I'm going to go to Matt. I'm going to take Matt.
Charlie's descent. Char by 10.
Taking Char?
No, Matt.
I was about to say.
That's just you got to prove to me you can put some points on the board.
I think this is the nail in the coffin this week for these two.
Sorry.
You can go to the next game.
We got Steve at 110.2 versus Brian with the highest projections as of today with a 118.1.
I'm taking Brian.
I'm going to take Steve due to the Antonio Brown, as you mentioned. Antonio Brown, AJ Brown, I think it's a get-right game, but with Deontay Johnson possibly hurt, Antonio Brown, COVID. If Steve does not pull this one off,
I think this is
He's done, yeah.
He's done.
Yeah, I think this is it for both of them.
I'm going to take Steve, though.
I think they
both being Charlie?
I think they both fell into the worst possible situation going into playing Brian and then Matt, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, this would be a week for one of them if they could have an interdivision game and maybe get Alex this week or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just to get a wing, but I just think this is going to be out of reach for both of them.
I think if Deontay Johnson doesn't play, it's a Steve game. I think Steve could win, but give me Brian.
And that pushes two teams, so Matt would be 3-0, and then me or Tom would be 3-0, and that'll be way too.
Yeah, them two playing the second and third highest.
You would need the third team to collapse utterly,
because then you got to catch them in points.
Yeah,
and they are already behind by I think almost 100.
Yeah. Move to the West.
I mean, buys don't start till week 6?
Yeah.
So I mean, you got a while.
Yeah. West has some tight games this week.
Pretty much all of them.
I like the West.
Joe versus Foster. Joe 111.4 versus Foster 112.6.
I think this will come down to obviously what the guy does tomorrow night. If you get a big game from him tomorrow night, you set the tone Thursday.
I think you're looking at a 20 spot.
I think Foster takes this one.
I'm going to obviously pick myself, but I will say going into this game, it is the least confident I've been so far this year.
Foster's got a good team. We talked about that all
He has the team where
he's got the starters.
Yeah, he just needs that second running back. He's lucky right now. Drake's starting to get getting the start over Jacobs, so it's kind of filling in for him. But if he's able to make a move for another running back, I think he'd be in good shape.
Yeah.
They're maybe talking to him about trades. Give me Foster, but
yes, I did.
Yeah. Well, I know you shot him an offer. Did he respond?
Yeah, he said he actually liked it. He said it wasn't obviously a bad trade. He said, but I can't move this player at the time. And then I did offer him something else, but I haven't heard back from him.
I don't plan on making any trades with Foster this week, unless he wants to give me Samson.
Next up, we got Brock with 106.9 versus Alex at 100.7. Can you guys tell me, do either of them have their full lineups in?
Both, actually.
Yeah.
Really? Alex is only projected 100 points. That is rough.
Yeah, both. I'm going to go with...
So Alex has the Bengals defense in when he picked up the Niners, but they're only projected 0.3 more. And then he has God starting under 7 and Singletary under 10. So that's really what's killing him right now.
I don't even want to look at matchups. I'm just going to take Brock.
If he adds in Jacobs plays, you add in another 4 or 5 points to his projections. But yeah, I'm going to take Brock. I think Brock sneaks out.
This
one.
This is the Charlie thing. Show me you can. Put
make it a clean sweep for Brock. I mean, I picked him to make the playoffs.
Also, not that I think he's watching this video. A little disappointed in Alex. I'll call him out on the show. He needs to make some roster moves.
He needs to do a little bit more soul searching in this league.
I don't know what's up with
a little
him
more
right
soul
now.
searching. He has to make some roster moves, and we haven't even seen him put in a bid on the waiver wire. I don't know if I want to continue to believe he's not checked out. He honestly was very, very busy last week. However, we all are busy. We all work 9 to 5. Some of us work longer than 9 to 5.
It's just
it's a motivation. It's an engagement issue. We need to look into engagement. If you have ideas on how we can make you more engaged, we're all ears. We want to make it happen. But
I just think he is an unlikable person, just thoroughly excuse machine. The draw, as he called himself, I believe, all off season.
I mean, he's the draw. I want to play him every week. But
he's the W.
He's the draw for me.
Just check your lineup and switch him.
He's a loser.
I ask for more than that.
Right now, I just want the guy to make sure his lineup's switched every weekend.
Yeah, I know he's working long hours, and
so
he's my brother. For those that don't know, my actual brother, unfortunately for me.
I get up at 3:30 and they'll get home by 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So.
Also, I worked an 8 to 7 today. Not the longest hours. 11-hour shift, whatever.
Tell me about long hours. Guys,
I'm working from home as well, but even when I'm working in the office, I have 30 seconds to check my phone.
Everyone's on their phone.
What I'm hearing is there's a new little girl in the picture. I'm not sure if that's what's.
Yeah, well, we're talking about him. He's been in the league for a couple of years now. And she is not holding her weight around here. So.
All right, well, let's move on. That's enough about that loser.
Last game.
Yours truly versus Jose.
Huge game.
Jose's projected 113.2. I have 111.1.
Jose has every member of that game we talked about.
That's a really good game for him to have people in, though.
I think Jose keeps his season alive here. I think he gets the win. This is a game I can see Mike pulling out, but I'm going to go with Jose.
Yeah, give me Jose.
Come on. I am, like, the squad. I'm angry. I'm fired up. That last week beatdown was a kick in the nuts. I'm pissed off. I'm beating Jose by 15.
That's it.
All right.
That was fun. That was
officially wrap it up. Can we officially wrap it up?
Wrap it up.
All right. Thank you guys for tuning in. Week 3 longer than usual. We'll try to condense it a little bit more moving forward, but
we're trying new things, trying new
things. Yeah, remember, like, comment, subscribe down below. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll catch you next week.